Imagine a man walking into his local bank on a regular Tuesday morning. He's nothing special, just an ordinary guy with an ordinary job. But he's about to make a decision that will completely transform his financial future. His name is Marcus, and today he's starting an investment journey that most people only dream about. He approaches the bank teller and opens a new investment account. The teller asks him how much he wants to deposit. Marcus takes a deep breath and says $5. Just $5. The teller looks a bit confused. $5 a day, Marcus explains, every single day for the next 40 years. It sounds simple, almost too simple. But what Marcus is about to discover is that consistency and time are two of the most powerful forces in wealth building. Most people think you need to invest huge amounts of money to build real wealth. They imagine throwing $50,000 at the market and watching it grow. But Marcus knows something different. He understands that small, consistent investments over decades can create something truly extraordinary. So he commits to his plan. $5 every single day. That's $35 a week, $150 a month, $1,800 a year. It doesn't sound like much, but Marcus is playing the long game. He's thinking about 40 years. He's thinking about compound interest. He's thinking about the power of time in the market. Day one arrives, and Marcus makes his first $5 investment. He feels good about it. Day two comes, and he invests another $5. Then day three, day four, day five. A week passes, and he's already invested $35. He stays committed. He doesn't miss a day. Not for vacation, not for illness, not for any reason. He's built this into his routine like brushing his teeth or taking a shower. It's just something he does. Months pass, and Marcus has now invested over $400. He checks his account and sees his investment is growing. Not just from his contributions, but from the returns the market is generating. This is when he starts to understand compound interest on a deeper level. His money is making money, and that money is making more money. It's a beautiful cycle that feeds itself. A year goes by. Marcus has invested $1,800 of his own money, but when he checks his account balance, he sees something remarkable. The total is over $2,000. The market has added more than $200 to his initial contributions. He's earning money while he sleeps. This motivates him to keep going. Year two arrives, and Marcus continues his daily $5 ritual. He's now contributing $3,600 of his own money, across both years combined. But his account has grown to nearly $4,500. This is compound interest doing its work. Each year, the returns are generating returns of their own. 5 years in, Marcus has invested $9,000. His account balance is now over $12,000. He's made $3,000 that he didn't directly contribute, just from letting his money grow in the market. It feels almost magical, but it's really just mathematics and patience. 10 years pass. Marcus has now invested $18,000 of his own money. His account has ballooned to nearly $30,000. That's $12,000 in returns. He's doubled his money through a combination of his consistent contributions and market growth. Most people at this point would celebrate and maybe ease off the gas. But Marcus keeps going. He remembers his 40-year commitment. He's only a quarter of the way through. 20 years in, and Marcus has invested $36,000. His account now shows nearly $80,000. That's $44,000 in pure growth. His money has more than doubled again. The compounding effect is becoming more and more obvious. Each year, the returns are getting bigger because there's more money in the account generating those returns. 30 years into his journey, Marcus has invested $54,000 of his own money. His account balance has reached nearly $250,000. That's $196,000 in returns. His money has grown nearly 5 times over. The power of compound interest over 3 decades is undeniable. He's still investing his $5 a day, but the returns are now dwarfing his contributions. The market is doing most of the work now. Finally, 40 years arrive. Marcus is now older, wiser, and about to see the culmination of his disciplined investment strategy. He's invested a total of $73,000 over 4 decades. Every single day, rain or shine, through recessions and booms, through personal challenges and life changes. He opens his investment account one final time and looks at the balance. His jaw drops. Nearly $900,000. That's over $827,000 in pure returns. His initial investments have grown more than 12 times over. A $5 daily habit has transformed into nearly $1 million. The math is almost unbelievable, but it's completely real. What's the secret? It's not about being a genius investor. It's not about picking the right stocks or timing the market perfectly. It's about 3 fundamental principles that anyone can apply. First, consistency. Marcus invested every single day without fail. He didn't wait for the perfect time. He didn't try to time the market. He just invested regularly, in good times and bad. This consistency meant that sometimes he was buying when prices were high and sometimes when they were low. This is called dollar cost averaging, and it smooths out the volatility of the market. Second, time. 40 years is a long time. Most people don't think in terms of decades. They think about next month or next year. But the market rewards patience. Over long periods, the ups and downs average out, and the overall trend is upward. This is historically true across nearly all major markets worldwide. Short-term volatility becomes irrelevant when you have decades of growth ahead. Einstein allegedly called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world. When your returns generate their own returns, growth accelerates exponentially. In year 1, Marcus earned returns on about $1,800. In year 40, he earned returns on hundreds of thousands of dollars. This exponential growth is what turns ordinary people into millionaires. Now you might be thinking that this story is too good to be true. You might be skeptical about whether these kinds of results are actually possible. The truth is that these numbers are based on real historical market data. If Marcus had invested in a broad market index fund that tracked the overall stock market, his results would have been roughly in this range. Different time periods would have given different results, but the general pattern holds true. The market has historically returned around 10% per year on average over very long periods. This varies year to year. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. But over decades, the trend has been up. So what's the lesson here? The lesson is that you don't need to be rich to become rich. You don't need to have a high income to build wealth. You just need 3 things. You need consistency, you need time, and you need to let compound interest do the work. $5 a day might not sound like much, but it's the beginning of a financial transformation. The amount matters less than the habit. Some people might be able to invest $10 a day. Some might invest $50 a day. The exact amount isn't the point. The point is that you start. The point is that you keep going. The point is that you give yourself decades to let the magic of compound interest work. Marcus's story isn't unique. There are countless stories of ordinary people who became millionaires through disciplined investing over long periods. They're not lottery winners. They're not celebrities. They're just people who understood that time and consistency are more powerful than intelligence or luck. If you're young right now, you have something incredibly valuable. You have time. Don't underestimate it. Every year you delay starting is a year you're not compounding. Every 5 years you wait is exponentially more money you'll need to invest later to catch up. On the other hand, if you're older and feel like you've missed the boat, know that it's never too late to start. Even if you only have 10 or 15 years left, you can still build substantial wealth for consistent investing. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and the journey to financial independence begins with a single investment. For Marcus, it was $5. For you, it might be different, but the principle remains the same. Start today, invest consistently, give yourself time, and watch as compound interest transforms your life. The question isn't whether you can afford to invest $5 a day. The question is whether you can afford not to.